Thank you. Now, we are going to be dealing with management and performance. So the first part will be management, and then we'll continue to performance. These are our learning objectives. We are expected to deliver and understand all these learning objectives. They are covered in this slide, though they are not directly covered, but yes, they are covered in all slides. The first session will be talking about the keys to successful performance management. The theme is about best practices for creating a performance-driven culture. A good organization is performance-driven, and performance is a pillar in an organization that looks at being successful in delivery, in service delivery. So it's a culture. It's something that has to be engraved, something that has to be practiced on daily basis. The main challenge that we have in organizations. Can we read this narrative? Then we'll take it from there. They rise to positions of supervision as a reward for superior functional expertise and star performance as an independent contributor. Unfortunately, they haven't been assessed or trained for the basics of leadership talent. Sometimes, when companies roll the supervisory promotion dice, they will win. But the odds of the gamble aren't with the house, and those companies eventually pay a heavy price for the failure to recognize leadership attributes and prepare new supervisors for their role. This is what we are talking about. This is the puzzle that exists in organization. The issue of choosing the right people to be in the management position, the issue of preparing people for managerial positions. The question is, in your organization or in your portfolio, how well are you preparing the people whom you're looking at succeeding or succession to be ready for the next level? There are two distinct competencies that we are looking at to be developed at managerial level or in preparing people to be at managerial position. One, the ability to influence engaged performance and business acumen. So the business acumen must be built. It must be, people must be capacitated with it, and the ability to influence, that's the leadership part, to influence people to the directive, in this case of being performance driven. The second one is understanding how business creates value and makes money. Value for itself and value for the customers who pay money for the services. So value for money is very, very key. Another narrative says, with regards to the above, failure to address the development of both strengths of the core in the early stages of the supervisor or manager's tenure significantly lowers the odds of success. So this one, we count on this tool for the success of whatever we need in terms of miniaturization. The new aim. Organizational culture is to a significant degree based on decisions regarding who is placed into supervisor and management position. This will be judged through the quality of decisions that are being taken and the success of the incumbent in the management position. The challenges organizations face in today's environment. These are with regards to customer expectations, competition, the global marketplace, increasing technology. This one being the pillar of the change, increasing technology. So as we incorporate technology, as we drive everything in organization utilizing technology, technology becomes the key driver of the change that we see in our environment. Budget cutbacks, downsizing and resizing of organization, deficits of talented employees, and demanding stakeholders. So now you will see that in organization we have people who are employed but not talented employees. So hence the deficit of talented employees. People want to work for money now. Then without adequate preparation, what can we hope for? You ask yourself, if you can't prepare people to be in management position, what is it that you hope for? For sure you are banking everything on luck. To counter the risk, this risk, strategic selection and proper training and preparations are needed. This goes without saying. Hence, the relationship between an employee and his immediate supervisor is very significant, or it has a very significant impact on performance, because that is the performance is what we must judge to promote people to the next level. So hence, everything is founded on the next between the two. How do we identify people who are suitable for supervisory positions? This slide takes us through on the key things that we must look at. A few questions, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 questions you should ask yourself. in identifying this person. How is this person effectively communicating with other people? And remember, here the key word is effective communication. Effective communication is you initiate communication, feedback, review, feedback, complete communication. Number two, how well will they influence their direct reports, their people themselves in terms of influence? How do they lead towards now even these people whom they report to? What is their philosophy in motivating other people? Many people who are looking at leadership must be people with some philosophies. What motivates them? What drives them to take certain decisions, to interact with other people in a certain direction? What is the process they use to make decisions? Is it a haphazard process? Is it a strong process that has steps? Can they deal with conflict? How well do they deal with conflict? What is their tendency to take initiatives? So, because a person who's in leadership must be a person who's able to take initiatives. Will they persist when faced with obstacles, or they will shut down and leave? How well can they handle responsibility? What type of coach will they make? Will they be able to teach effectively? These are people whom we are looking at, people who will be able to demonstrate, who are going to teach other people, because they are going to be leading people in any case. Now we look at management effectiveness. If an ineffective manager can shift to an effective people manager, there is a potential to improve employee performance by 25%, employee engagement by 52%, and employee retention by 40%. Look at these indicators. All three of them are talking to performance, and these are the things that are key when you are a manager. How well do you retain people? How well do you improve people's performance, and how well do you improve people's engagement? Now, the second one says those employees who are most committed perform 20% better and are 87% less likely to leave the organization. Hence, we're talking about those. If you drive people towards the three things up there positively, look at the change that will happen in the organization. How sustainable are we going to be in the organization? While commitment to the manager is often pointed out as the key driver of engagement, the manager actually plays a more important role, helping the employee commit to the job. So you can see how important is the role of a manager in an organization to an employee. A good manager has the potential to increase an employee commitment to the job by 34%. The power to increase emotional commitment to the organization by 38% and commitment to the team by an outstanding 47%. Look at this. These are indicators of performance at a management level. Look, these are indicators of performance at a management level. Already you must measure your success as a manager. You don't wait to be judged by other people. You must have a mechanism of yourself being able to evaluate how you impact other people in the organization and how well you drive success in the organization, not to wait for other external measures to measure your performance. Let's look at the characteristics of a successful supervisor or manager. It matters most, the initial impact. Moving from one position to the other, there is a transition. The transitioning of an individual contributor to a supervisory position is one of the most difficult and critical transitions, but that impact says a lot on the potential of this person. This person must be, so when you are transitioning to the next level, you must know that the initial impact counts the most, because that creates values that will stand with yourself, in yourself for a long time in that position that you are in. Customer focus and creating value, understanding how to create value worth of a customer's money, and the boss principle. The new supervisor or manager enters an uncharted waters regarding the relationship with his or her boss. So because this one just signifies to say how well, if you're promoting a person, it's when you're saying the boss is, the manager is saying, this is the person whom I think is suitable for the next person. This must strengthen the relationship between the one who's being promoted and the one who's promoting. The law, perhaps nothing can cause a supervisor or the organization as much difficulty as ignorance of applicable law. Very imperative is that this person must know the laws, the position that the person is taking. Performance management is a significant responsibility of new supervisors and managers in indirect input into an organization's formal performance review process. This, at a supervisory level or management position, we are more critical on performance. Dealing with difficulties should be an issue of the day. The success of a new supervisor and manager is tested in a situation where when they must deal with difficulty. So dealing with difficulties should be just a recipe for every day. Coaching, day in, day out, routine performance management requires the supervisor or manager to be an effective coach and an effective teacher. In this case, you must be able to demonstrate when necessary. You must be able to motivate people to deliver more in terms of if they are good, encourage them to be even more better than what they are doing. So you must be a coach and be able to identify where their deviations are, they the deviations to the right direction or to the wrong direction. That's the responsibility of you. Now, there's always a challenge dealing with managing people. No, we are saying dealing with difficulty is always, it must be one thing that we are used to. That comes with managing people. What are the challenges? Employees do not produce results through consistent. Today, they are able, tomorrow, they are not. That's one of the difficulties. You have to deal with the never-changing behaviors and attitudes like well-built and well-oiled machines. These things that people are used to, they are engraved in their minds. You have to deal with that, trying to psych them out to do the other things that the organization demands of them. Employees always complain, mess up, don't show up, and at times they defy instructions. That brings the difficulty. Dealing with all this takes specific skills, and past performance as an independent contributor will not make up for the lack of these skills. So you must know how to deal with this, and you must have people skills for you to be able to manage such. Ineffective supervisors, they hold position power over others without looking at how effective is that in the workplace. They use micromanaging, direct reports. They are right by virtue of their new positions, not by applicable reasoning and management principle. They use aspects of fear intimidation to achieve results, which is not good, and because this may lead to a high level of turnover in an organization. They access information and issues that are not offered to others, so they have superior privileges, not by other people. In summary, a manager and a supervisor responsibilities has a much greater impact than just increasing productivity. It honors and demonstrates genuine respect for all employees. If you respect your subordinates, they will in turn return the favor of respect to yourself. In the next slide, we will be looking at managing performance. I thank you.